Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Hope you're doing well today. Today I want to talk about Harry, a little bit about Harry and some news around him being able to do things that he should just not be doing. It's just like, just don't do it. Don't do it, Harry. But he's going to do it anyway because he's a spoiled, rotten brat. He wants to get whatever he wants, and I think it's a shame. Harry is somebody that is miserable. He is so unhappy with that woman in Montecito. He can't help but show his nasty side and his serious bratty self. I mean, and that's just what it is, folks, and we're going to talk about it. So let's get into it. So do you like? Yes, I'm a redhead today. And Otis could be less impressed. He's like, who is this woman next to me? I think I might just go to sleep. He don't want nothing to do with me, huh, Otis? You're like, who is this woman with this red hair? I don't like this hair. He's just looking at me like, okay. Okay. Well, I wanted to talk about William being the usher at this wedding that he was, of course, going to go to because he is the godfather of William's son. Prince of Wales, he joined a lot of other well-wishers at Chester Cathedral for the Duke of Westminster. His name is Hugh Grosvenor, the godson of King Charles III. He married Henson at the cathedral earlier, with Prince William serving as usher in their wedding. And isn't that just nice? Like the future King of England is serving as your usher at your wedding. I mean, the humility of William. Because William could have been like, look, I'm the future king. I am not going to be the usher of nobody's wedding. But, you know, he's that kind of person. It tells you so much about his character that he showed up to be the usher. I mean, for all we know, he could have been the one showing Harry to his seat when he arrived. But we know Harry wasn't going to come because I believe he was told not to come. But that would have been interesting. William showing Harry to his seat. Like, hi, brother. Go find your own seat. He could have been really, nasty towards him in a way that was not so obvious by some. But yeah, Harry knew better. Harry knew not to come to this wedding because it would be a problem for him. And I think it was urged that Harry, look, here's an invitation. We mean well for you to be here, but considering how you're just not likable right now, don't come to the wedding. just don't come. Okay? We don't want no problems. And I know if I was that Olivia, the wife, the one that married this Hugh guy, I'd be like, yeah, Harry, you better not show up ruining my day. And it was a good thing that he did not show up. It went off without a hitch. Princess Eugenie was there. And I know William may have been looking at Princess Eugenie with the side eye, like, okay, what you gonna say? Because I don't know if I really trust that Eugenie. I just don't know if I trust her. Maybe she's nice, she's a good person, but like she's got her feet in both parties, and you know she's bound to say certain things that she sees. It's just human nature. Even if it doesn't get out in the public, she's there as the eyeballs of Harry and Meghan. So I don't know. Eugenie, I think she might, yeah. Princess Eugenie just, I'm just like, not sure if I'm liking you. I've just been like looking at her like, hi Eugenie, how you doing, girl? How you? You going to California in the near future? just like tread lightly. And in other news as well, we know that David Beckham bonded with the king over beekeeping and is named the king's charity ambassador. And I think David Beckham has to become knighted. I think he has to get some special service from the king, only because we know Harry and Meghan have had it with David Beckham and his wife. Like everything that Harry and Meghan have done, they want to be like the people that are doing the successful version of what Harry and Meghan want to do. Just like with the documentary with the Beckham, David Beckham, and his documentary had did way better. It's still doing well, and it's not as the documentary with Harry and Meghan is not doing as well. It's like Harry and Meghan, they ran their course. Now they're on a slump. They're not as popular. They don't have anything that people are really, watching that has them a part of it, and it's successful. I mean, Meghan just is now ending her venture with her jam. We know that that's not going to move forward. So Meghan and Harry just are on the losing end of everything, and the more successful version of what Harry and Meghan would like to be is like always in their face. It's like now the king is bonding with David Beckham, and it just shows you that Harry is in such a stink right now. He is so miserable. I mean, imagine you're in California with that woman. And nobody else that you've grown up with, nobody else that you can relate to, no commonality with anybody. It's like you're just alone on this island with a woman who's only really thinking about herself. He's seriously hurting right now. But David Beckham exchanged beekeeping tips with the king. The pair met when the former England captain being named ambassador for the King's Foundation. And I think that is just so right on par. I think it's great that the king has named David Beckham to be the ambassador, because David Beckham can bring so much attention to what you're doing in your work. Not that the king can't, but I mean, it just adds spice on top of it. Like his wife, Spice, is her name Spice? No, not Scary Spice. I don't know those girls. I don't know anything about them. But anyway, the king has really made Harry and Meghan feel, just by doing his work, he's made Harry and Meghan feel less than, because he's doing things with people that are successful at what Harry and Meghan want to do. And everyone's just going on about their lives, like, okay, yeah, you could have been here, Harry and Meghan, but you're living your lives trying to get something going. That's never going to happen. And I know they feel it. So Beckham met the king at Highgrove Gardens, where he also met students of the King's Foundation who practice skills such as woodworking, embroidery, and specialized workshops on site. It was inspiring to hear from the king about the work of His Majesty's Foundation during his recent trip at Highgrove Gardens and compare beekeeping tips. This is what David Beckham said. And yeah, I think that's just really nice to see the commonality of their work coming together, and the wonderful work that they're doing. Like, they're doing things that are really good for young people and helping people to get these valuable skills and making a difference, while Harry and Meghan still continue to try to find how to make themselves relevant. It's just like flip-flop. So going into the story about Harry now. So Harry wins this right to appeal his publicly funded security detail in the United Kingdom. And it's almost at this point, you're just showing how you are so entitled that you think you're not going to stop. You're going to keep going no matter what, because you feel so entitled. So Harry has been given permission to appeal this British government's rejection to provide him with publicly funded police protection while he is in the United Kingdom. Now, the court appeal gave Harry the go-ahead to challenge a ruling earlier this year in the High Court. The permission was granted in May, but they were only reporting on it now. So Judge Peter Lane ruled actually in February that the government panel's decision to provide Harry with the security on an as-needed basis after Harry quit the royal family, that it wasn't unlawful. They're saying we had the right to say, no, you're not going to get the security. You quit the royal family, so what came with being a working royal, you no longer get. And this is what Harry is upset about. We know this long-running fight began like 4 years ago. when Harry was challenging the right to have this special security so that he would have armed guards. He wants to have police officers, security detail that have guns. This is what he wants. He wants them to have guns while they are in the United Kingdom. And you're going to spend all your time, because you want your security detail while you're in the United Kingdom to have guns. That's really important to you. When you are like sixth in line to the throne, like you're not that important, Harry. And the only reason why he really thinks he should get this security is because of all the hostility that was given to Harry and his wife. Well, the hostility really comes from Harry and his behavior, his actions, because he's the one that put a bounty on his head by the Taliban, because he spoke about killing them when he was in the military, something that they say you're not supposed to do. But he's made himself more of a target, and I think this is why he's having these anxieties about getting this special security, because he wants to feel like he is like so protected, because he knows people could be after him because of how he opened his mouth and said things he should not have said, basically. The case appeared to be dead after the High Court in April rejected his first request for an appeal to appeal Lane's decision. But Justice David Bean on the Court of Appeal said that on May 23rd that he could challenge the lower court's decision. And apparently Harry is going to challenge this, because Harry is nothing but a spoiled brat that wants to get his way no matter what, because he feels that the British people need to pay for his security to have guns while he's visiting in the United Kingdom. I just don't understand why Harry feels he needs to have this armed protection. And I think the only reason why he is doing it is because he wants to have an excuse to not come to the United Kingdom. It's not about having the guns. It's not about trying to, I mean, of course he wants this protection. He wants to have his security detail be armed, but it really is giving him the excuse to say, look, if you're going to have my presence in the United Kingdom, the British public is going to pay for me to have armed guards. That's the big beef with Harry. You're only going to get my presence if I show up with armed security. Harry is a spoiled, rotten brat that needs to be told no a few more times. Because I think hearing no helps you to understand you're just not all that, Harry. You're not going to be given privileges just because you are the son of a king. You have responsibilities to behave in a way that is acceptable. And when you quit doing something, you don't get the accolades and the privileges that come with being in said job. You just don't get it, Harry. Then there was another time when Harry behaved like a spoiled, rotten brat, when he was evicted from Frogmore Cottage. Harry released his memoir in January of 2023. Soon after, the king had asked Harry and Meghan, move out. Get your things out of Frogmore Cottage. I don't want you here no more. And Harry didn't like it. So Harry ended up handing over the keys to the cottage in June of 2023. And then later they ended up having the rest of their items shipped over to California. And this made Harry very upset. He was so mad. And it's almost like, well, what do you think your brother and your father felt like when you put out your book, Spare? They were furious too. So they got back at you and did something to make you upset as well. Apparently, Harry was furious. He was also in tears when he was evicted from Frogmore. He was devastated. And I think it's just the way that the king has to deal with Harry, because we know that Harry and Meghan will come out and they'll say things. They'll, try to make the king and William like enemies and make the public try to turn on them. And I think doing these little subtle gestures is a great way to have Harry and Meghan get the smackdown that they need. And Harry needed to be smacked down and needed to be evicted, because this is the only way that he's going to not get what he wants when he puts out things that are not acceptable to the royal family, just like that book. So it's almost like Harry feels that he can do things to his family, but they can't do things back. They can't retaliate against him. So he was really upset about this. They go on to say that Harry felt that his father had no right to do it. Well, you had no right to write that book, Spare, too, but you did. It's like, go figure, Harry. So he felt like his father had no right to do that, and it was purely vindictive. And you know what I say? Yeah, and what if it was vindictive? So you do something to your family, they have every right to retaliate. You know, Harry is really getting a taste of what it's like to be in the real world. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like to feel what it's like to be evicted. That's something that happens to normal people, not someone who's a prince. But yeah, the king is showing him, yeah, you're gonna marry a commoner. You're gonna marry a woman that doesn't know how to behave herself. She doesn't know how to act like she has some kind of sense about her, where we're going to treat you and your wife just like that. Non-royal. Get your butt out. You're no longer wanted in Frogmore Cottage. And this is the one thing that Harry did not count on when he left to go be with Meghan. He did not count on losing his royal privileges. He thought leaving the royal family as a worker would mean, okay, I'm leaving doing the work, but I don't want to lose my privileges. Well, hey, that's what happens. Because I know certainly if I try to go to my ex-employer and say, well, can I have the privileges of a paycheck? Or can I have the privileges of the company vehicle, although I'm no longer working for you? They're going to look at me like I'm crazy. And I think that's what the king has done. He is finally looking at Harry like he's crazy.